Somewhat humorously, what happened to the dust sheets? Well, no, there are no known QSL cards verifying the reception of the two shortwave transmitters located at start points, senders 21 and 22. The BBC never was a consistent verifier of listener reception reports. Back to you, Jeff.
Thanks, Ray.
Radio Nacional de Venezuela, la multiplataforma que recorre la patria.
Some of you may know that my wife Thais is from Venezuela. We used to travel there frequently. The last time I was there was in 2012 when President Maduro's predecessor, Hugo Chavez, was still in power. We were in the country for about a month, and I spent much of that time listening to and recording Venezuelan radio stations for a special report that we aired here on Wavescan. Wish I could find the recording of that program to air it again, but here's a summary. President Chavez was trying to convert Venezuela into a 21st century socialist society, as he called it. The government placed huge billboards everywhere promoting Chavez and socialism. His photos were everywhere. The extensive national radio network, Radio Nacional de Venezuela, was used as a major propaganda medium to promote the government and its policies. Same for the government television network. The news, talk shows, jingles, and music were all used to promote the government. The opposition was not given airtime. There were, of course, many privately owned radio and television stations and networks in Venezuela. But many of these were owned by government supporters who allowed them to be used to promote the government. And most of the stations that were politically neutral or opposed to the government were intimidated. The network was being used to brainwash the population. Of course, that's not a circumstance that's confined.
Santa Capilla, donde llega esta movilización popular que arrancó desde la Plaza de la Candelaria y brinda respeto absoluto al comandante Flores de Maduro. El pueblo venezolano desplegado de tempranas horas.
We presented the first part of an interview that I conducted fairly recently with Adrian Peterson, founder of the Advanced World Radio DX program, Radio Monitors International, which eventually became Wavescan. Wavescan is no longer affiliated with AWR, but Adrian continues to provide us with lots of program material, like today's feature, which has been updated and augmented by Ray Robinson at the Voice of Hope in Los Angeles. In August of last year, I had the opportunity to travel to Indianapolis, Indiana, and talk with Adrian about the fascinating story of his lifelong involvement in radio. In our last installment, Adrian mentioned that his collection of about 75,000 QSL cards had been sent to the National Film and Sound Archive in Australia for scanning. So eventually, hopefully, all of these will find their way to the internet on the website, perhaps, where people around the world can see your QSLs.
Yes, that is the intent. There are several good archives on the internet, but the Australian view, which is what I obtained in Australia, and as an Australian, that's no problem. They'll give you American helicopters, 2 of them if you want them. So I had another excuse. I'm still in high school. I'll have to do my homework, and I won't have a lot for it. From a whole network of shortwave stations in California, and 3 or 4 different locations with several transmitters in each location. And so I sent them reception reports like my uncle did, and I got these QSL cards back. And I was appointed first to Pakistan, then Ceylon, Sri Lanka, and then India. And in each case, in radio ministry.
That was Wavescan's editor-in-chief, Adrian Peterson, talking to me in Indianapolis, Indiana. We'll have the rest of that conversation in upcoming editions of Wavescan. Now, we would normally have the Japan DX report from Yukiko Tsuji. Due to my travels in Malaysia, that report...
You are listening to Reach Beyond Australia, but we also like to hear from you. If you have a comment on our programs, want to give us a signal, or simply ask a question, we would love to hear from you. Our email address is radio@reachbeyond.org.au. Reach Beyond Australia. Life-changing radio.
Australia. Join us again tomorrow evening at 12:30 UTC or 6 p.m. India Standard Time on the same frequency of 15440 kHz in the 19-meter band.